One of the most hyped things in all of BlueLock come in the form of goal celebrations. Scoring a goal and then hitting one of the hardest poses, maybe screaming at the top of your lungs, or just being so nonchalant that their aura is leaking through the screen. I wouldn't be surprised if some people read this series just because of the goal celebrations. A single one can turn any hater into a character's biggest fan. And with so many goal celebrations throughout the story, why not go over the top 10 goal celebrations in all of BlueLock? These are the celebrations I personally think are the best of the best, the most hyped up ones. It's the type of panels you would make into your profile picture. Starting off at number 10, also using it as my example, it's going to be Nagi's fist pump in the U20. This is one goal celebration where you cannot argue that it's not cold. This is exactly what you would expect from the lazy genius. Nothing more than just a fist pump in the air after scoring the first goal from BlueLock's side. This goal celebration definitely fits the criteria of how I'll be ranking them. I'll be going off of hype, how much I personally liked it, the build up to it, and how iconic or relevant it is. Because there are some goal celebrations at the start of the manga that still hold up till current day. In Nagi's case, even though he isn't happy or screaming at the top of his lungs in pure hype, the goal celebration itself was still super hype. And just the build up for it sends shivers down your spines. You start shaking in your boots as Nagi Seishiro introduces himself to Japan, tap lifts the ball, faking out two defenders, makes the goal, and the crowd starts erupting. The U20 team's reaction starts piling up as Aiku gives some of the best dialogue over Nagi doing absolutely nothing besides breathing and pumping his fist in the air. It's a beautiful way to start off this legendary game and a beautiful way to start off this list. Nagi's fist pump is number 10 for me. For number 9, this was an extremely tough one for me to find out. Granted, every single spot was, because the top 10 really limits your options by so much. There are so many goal celebrations that fit the criteria of being hype or just my personal favorites. But the goal celebration I'm putting here made everyone a fan after this. It's Chigiri's first goal in BlueLock. This is not as hype as some of the other goal celebrations that could be in the spot, but in terms of context, this is one of the best ones. Let's go take a step back and see how hype this goal and goal celebration was. I think everyone became a fan of Chigiri after this goal. Due to some unfortunate events, Team Z is about to lose to Team W, and Isagi starts crashing out. Rightfully so. I think anyone would crash out if they're about to lose to this circus of a team. But he provokes Chigiri doing it, which gives him a flashback, and when we see that flashback, we just know everything is about to go down. The Chigiri bandwagon started up as fast as him, revealing one of the best weapons, a Mach 10 speed that saved Team Z, while proving himself all in the span of 30 seconds. He literally became a main rival and character in just one single goal, and the goal celebration itself was just hype. Chigiri scores, lands on the leg he injured, but sticks it, and now filled with adrenaline, jumps up screaming at the top of his lungs, dialoguing how he's reborn with this goal. You can watch a reaction mashup to Chigiri's goal and goal celebration, and everyone will be out of their seats or just clapping at the peak cinema they just witnessed. I think this is the best goal celebration in all of the first selection. Super underrated and super important. I'm putting it here at the number 9 spot. Number 8 is the first and only goal from this character so far, and for it to make the list, you just know it has to be damn good. I feel bad for even putting it this low, but the debate between each and every spot is so close, so make sure you stick around to the end to find out who wins. But anyways, I'm putting Lavinho's Dance Till You Die Cripples goal celebration in the 8th spot. This is probably the most disrespectful goal celebration in this list. Going into this match, Lavinho was literally in GOAT talk, being considered one of the best dribblers, and then we see his stupendous expertise on the field after he sweeps the floor with Bastard Munin. Not only that, his trash talk was just on another level, with a straight zoom-in close-up on his face, and then calling Isagi literal noise. Like, how did bro even come up with that? And then to wrap it up by stopping in front of the goal and then calling everyone cripples while bowing to finally score, Lavinho was on another type of timing. Not to mention his literal aura being activated. Like, there is no reason for it to go this hard. Did he activate his Nen or some special Pokemon ability? There was a flaming butterfly behind him. For the first Master Striker goal, this lived up to, maybe even surpassed the hype and bar that was set for them. This just opened all of our eyes to see how cold they are, and Lavinho's goal celebration was just the cherry on top. Alright, number 7 is probably the most outrageous one, but before y'all take a guess, I would very much appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. BlueLock Season 2 and everything that comes with it is just around the corner, so now is a perfect time to to subscribe for everything Blue Lock. Remember how I used the keyword outrageous? There is only one goal celebration that fits this criteria. And of course, I'm talking about Shido's first goal in the U20, the one where he's a little too excited. When I first read this, I felt like I went through the 5 stages of grief, but only the first and last stage, which is denial and acceptance. Because I could not believe what I was reading on my screen. After Shido ties up the score against Bluelock, he does nothing but soak in all the glory and fame that comes with it. The goal celebration itself is actually a really hard pose. As the floodlights are on, it's like the heavens are blessing Shido while he has his arms wide open accepting it all. As everyone is cheering and chanting for his name, Shido drops the famous lines that I don't think I could say on YouTube. For someone to say something as abhorrent that Shido did, and the only thing you can do is accept it, you just know the goal celebration is good. I can't wait for the anime fans and how trending this clip will be when it finally gets adapted. It was already popular as a manga panel, so when they actually voice over it, I think this might break the internet in both good ways and bad ways. Number 6 is one of my personal favorites, but definitely deserves to be up here. I'm putting Kaiser's execution. Whether you hate him or like him, nobody can deny that this is one of the best goal celebrations, especially for an introduction. If Kaiser's character was meant to impress, this guy deserves an Oscar for his performance, because this is the first time we've seen anyone bow at a goal. I'm not even the biggest Kaiser fan, but it was literally him gifting us a goal celebration and executing Barcha while he's at it. Full double spread of this is absolutely beautiful as well. Just face down and then a little zoom into his face with the words executed. It's such a good way to build up the main rival for the Neo Egoist League. Number 5 is another Neo Egoist League goal. This one fills the shoes of the hype compartment, maybe even surpassing that hype to the point where your jaw just drops. Of course, I'm talking about Nagi's 5-shot volley. The goal and the goal celebration itself is one of the best moments in the NEL alone. My first pick on this list was Nagi's fist pump because it's exactly what we expect from him, a cold, nonchalant celebration. But this one was the complete opposite, a hyped up, screaming at the top of your lungs victory lap as Nagi Seishiro completed at this point his whole life goal. His performance here was comparable to the Terminator, designed to be Isagi Yoichi, and once he pulled it off, it was very satisfying. Not only does he scream, but Rayo also comes over and they hit probably the best high five of all time. I wouldn't be surprised if that clap echoed through the room. Prepare for trouble and make it double, because there are 2 goal celebrations for just the single goal alone, as Nagi bows his head and Rayo climbs on his shoulders to give us basically Kaiser's goal celebration, but with an assist. You know the goal celebration is good when I had a hard time ranking it between the number 5 spot and the literal number 1 spot, the best goal celebration, but I decided on the 5th spot for now. And yeah, every single spot from now I had at one point at the number 1 spot. It doesn't get any closer than this. Number 4 seriously broke the hype meter. Shido's second U20 goal celebration is probably my favorite in all of Blue Lock. The build-up and execution of this goal is second to none. I think the backstory, the philosophy, the fact that it's literally Shido Ryusei makes this goal celebration all the more hype, because screaming and jumping at the top of your lungs is kind of something new for Shido. We've seen him be sort of hyped for his goals or expect it, but this is a completely new level for him. It's exactly like the Nagi screaming moment, but maybe even more iconic. Again, this dialogue of his soccer is just so good. It fits his character so much, and for him to just jump up and bicycle kick it from halfway across the field, it was just endless hype. This goal not only gave the Japan team the lead, this put Shido up for debate as the best player at the time. This was the question on everyone's mind: who is better, Rin or Shido, Rin or Shido? It was endless. The double spread with the glowing eyes and his literal aura popping out like he's going Super Saiyan. At this point, I'm convinced Shido's built different. But someone else who is built different and quite literally shows off his build, our number 3 spot is Barou's infamous flying jersey. This is the first of its kind, a goal celebration that was not only original, this was just cold as hell. The dialogue over this was just cold. The whole moment was just cold. It was like a fake out. You thought Isagi was gonna score? No, size on him. And then you thought Rin was gonna come in last second, but Haiku teleports in, but none other than the script writer himself. Barou comes in, devouring Isagi. For Barou to score by devouring Isagi and just straight trucking through 2 of the U20 members with a sliding kick, it's literally something only Barou could do. The visuals were just insane on this. Actual impact frames on Barou's kick with the lion aura popping up. And its goal celebration was well deserved, screaming at the top of his lungs, taking off his shirt, while the others also celebrate with him. We also can't forget that he got a yellow card for this. Pretty funny moment. This is such a unique and hype goal celebration. we are at the final two spots, the best and second best goal celebrations throughout the whole series. Number 2 for me is gonna be the U20 victory celebration. This comes from our boy Isagi Yoichi, and this is just so iconic. I mean, you have multiple panels of just this goal celebration. Isagi running down the field screaming, while the stadium is filled with cheers. Everyone reacts to this, running towards Isagi as the whistle blows and the game ends with Bluelock's victory. The boys are all in one beautiful panel as we see Ego pump his fist for the first time, as this is his goal celebration as much as it is Bluelock's. And it doesn't even stop there. We get a moment of Isagi on his knees just screaming as everyone is hyped and gathered around for our boy and his moment. This is undoubtedly one of the best goal celebrations in all of Bluelock. I mean, you got everything you wanted in it. It doesn't get better than this. It can only get different. Not to mention how monumental this was for Bluelock as a whole. I mean, it wrapped up one of the best games we've seen in the series, but there is one goal celebration I think that barely inches it out. Coming in at our final spot, the number 1 goal celebration in all of Bluelock, and also the most recent, I think it's Kaiser's Magnus goal. I've said it before, I'm not the biggest Kaiser fan, but this was one of the most impactful goals and goal celebrations both in the manga and outside the manga. Barely anyone expected Kaiser to score, especially with the fraudulent performance he's been putting up, missing, losing to Isagi, and crashing out on Ness, which makes sense. I would have crashed out way earlier. So imagine everyone's shock reading this chapter when Kaiser actually pulls off the Magnus and we get a flashback. And at this point, the flashback tells us more than we need to know. Kaiser is definitely making this shot because what shot has a whole flashback to it? The Kaiser stock shot right back up as the ball went into the net, and our eyes are blessed with Kaiser pulling down his shirt and revealing the blue rose tattoo as he reaches for the sky. In terms of goal celebrations alone, I think this is the best one. I mean, who even does this? Kaiser is known for having cold goal celebrations, and this one is literally character specific. Only Kaiser can pull this one off because he has tattoos. And honestly, it even shocks me to put it at the number 1 spot because this goal celebration, if someone did this IRL, I'd probably cringe, but it works out super well somehow. This goal quite literally changes everything, and nobody expected this. Like, nobody has a clue as to what's gonna happen next because of this goal. And he cleared all of the fraud allegations with just that one goal celebration. The amount of glazing from this man after this goal was insane. I think a cult formed after this around Kaiser. And again, he's not my favorite, but I cannot deny how cold of a goal celebration this is. And this isn't just recency bias. I still think forever this will be a top 3 goal celebration in terms of context and in terms of hype. No matter what, this will always be a top 3. As for right now, though, I kept swapping this celebration between the numbers 1 and the 5 spot, but considering how much build up, how unexpected it was, and how much this changes the series, I decided on the number 1 spot. Alright, that is my top 10 goal celebrations in all of Bluelock. To this very moment, I'm still having doubts about where I'm putting everything, but I decided on this list. Let me know what your favorite goal celebrations are, maybe even your top 10, and if you agree or disagree with me, leave it all in the comment section down below. If you watched to the end, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. My name's Hiryo, and I'll see y'all in the next one.